Kentucky Senator Mitch McConnell has for years sat at the head of the Senate as the Senate Majority Leader of the Republican Party, giving him an immense amount of power over what policies are actually implemented, both throughout Trump's entire presidency and the latter part of Obama's. As Senate Majority Leader, if something is to come to the floor for a vote, it generally has to go through Mitch's approval first. This has allowed him to set policy and allowed him to, in many ways, have an influence directly over the opinions and perspectives and positions of other members of the Republican Senate. But that is waning. Even though Mitch McConnell has had significant impact from all the way back in 2016, when he blocked the nomination of Obama's Supreme Court nominee, leading to the eventual confirmation of Trump nominee Brett Kavanaugh, to standing firm on reversing that position for Amy Coney Barrett, Trump's late appointed judicial nominee after Ruth Bader Ginsburg finally passed away. He has set policy that will change, in fact, the judicial process in the Supreme Court for many years to come, cementing a 5-4 or 6-3, depending on how much you like John Roberts, majority in the Supreme Court. So that has been a lasting policy impression. However, over recent days, Mitch is starting to fall out of favor as a Republican darling and becoming a bit of a pariah. But why? Well, it started with the $2,000 stimulus checks. Oh, wait, I'm sorry, the $600 stimulus checks. That's what we actually got from Congress, despite many people, economists, and the president himself included, suggesting we needed more than mere $600 checks per individual. President Donald Trump had suggested $2,000 checks, and the $600 checks were less than the even prior stimulus, which came out to roughly $1,200 per individual. Now, there are different qualifications and various amounts that actual people got based on their income and their family situation and all of that, which I recognize, but the underlying facts are $600 versus $2,000, and the more populist arms of the Republican Party, along with the Democrat Party, suggesting that $2,000 is a necessary number after 8 straight months of government lockdowns, which have led to high unemployment numbers and a poorly performing economy in general. In fact, even people who remained employed often have had reduced hours, reduced income, and are under significant financial hardship. After all of that, $600 seems a little bit hollow when you combine the fact that lots of special interests and foreign interests were given tons of money at the same time by the very same Senate. Cries about fiscal responsibility kind of went out the window. And so we have a rift growing again between Mitch McConnell and the more populist elements of the Trump Republican Party. But that's not all. That's not all. More conservative members of the Republican Party as well, the traditional types of conservative or libertarian branch that we see in Rand Paul and Ted Cruz, and even Senator Josh Hawley of Missouri, are being overshadowed by Mitch McConnell. And we see that most recently in Mitch McConnell's lack of support, we'll call it politely, or outright dismissal of the upcoming electoral challenge spearheaded by Josh Hawley and Ted Cruz on January 6th, where they plan to join with approximately 140 House Republicans, supported by the House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy, in their effort to call into question and issue a formal challenge to the upcoming electoral vote count being read by Vice President Mike Pence. Okay, so they are going to levy that formal challenge, and Mitch McConnell has not been in support of it. In fact, going to say that his vote affirming the election and the electoral results for Joe Biden will be one of the most consequential votes of his entire political career. That type of language does not sit well with people who have ongoing questions and concerns about the validity of the election results across the country, and specifically in the swing states of Georgia, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, Arizona. So this rift is causing a lot of people to be very, very angry with Mitch McConnell. And I've included, first of all, this piece is from Axios. I'll let you guys check it out in the description below. It's a very short read. I encourage you to take a look. A little bit of a longer read, though it is from The Atlantic, so take that how you will, is this one about Mitch McConnell's slipping grip on the Republican Party. And most importantly, the fact that the upcoming Georgia runoff may cause the Republicans to lose their majority and Mitch McConnell to lose his majority leader status. Once he loses it, it's highly unlikely he'll get it back, even if Republicans are elected back into the majority in the upcoming midterm elections. So we have a problem for Mitch McConnell in that very real practical sense, but the other problem is that Republican senators are no longer listening to him over what they see as disloyalty or as a betrayal of the Republican Party or of President Trump, or most importantly, of the Republican base. The Republican base who has serious and ongoing questions about an election that Mitch McConnell does not seem to support finding the answers to. And his silence on this issue, or his dismissal of the issue in reported phone calls that, again, are down in The Atlantic, you can read about them in this article, that has caused this rift. So right now, it's kind of looking like just about everybody hates Mitch McConnell. Again, to the point where people are vandalizing his home over the inadequate stimulus checks, to the point where he is poison pilling additional stimulus by including measures that he knows will kill the bill, and by the fact that he is refusing to support Republican efforts to at least challenge the electoral results that will be read on January 6th, even though that challenge is unlikely to succeed, and that fact has been acknowledged by Republicans who are engaging in the challenge. They say it doesn't matter if it's doomed to fail because of the Democrat majority House. We still need to ask these questions. We still need to have this evidence presented. And very, very prominent Republicans are in support of this. Again, the House Minority Leader, Kevin McCarthy. We've got prominent senators, Ted Cruz, Josh Hawley, going along with this, Marsha Blackburn, I believe. Plus, we have this all the way up to having the actual full support of Vice President Mike Pence. And with all of that support, Mitch McConnell is still staying in the background. And this is why he is losing his grip, not only on the Republican Party, but on having any Republican relevancy at all. But what do you think? Do you think Mitch McConnell is actually slipping? Do you think that he is a waning star, destined to the dustbin of eternal senators that we don't listen to? What is the story with it? Is Mitch good? Is Mitch a traitor? What do you think he'll do on January 6th? I mean, he hasn't been too vocal about this upcoming challenge. He's just been dismissive about it. So drop a comment below. Let me know. I would love to engage in this discussion with you. And let's talk about why everybody hates Mitch. Talk to you soon. Peace. Peace.